Deuteronomy 24 1 to 22. So it's interesting that we know from the New Testament that these marriage laws, especially the laws regarding divorce, was given because people's heart were hard, but it wasn't. Divorce is not pleasing to God, but it is like a solution, I guess, for the hardness of people's heart. But it's interesting right here that someone who the first husband cannot marry the wife after she has been defiled. That's very interesting to me. I wonder why. Because she can marry a second husband, but she can't get remarried to the first one. So I don't understand why it's detestable. I just know that it is detestable to God. It's very cool how God actually said that after you're recently married, you must not be sent to war or have any other duty, and like you need to stay at home and bring happiness to the wife that he has married. I wish we can do that in this day and age. I mean, like, I think for my marriage I had like 2 weeks, but God actually provisioned a time frame of a year, so that is pretty cool. I wonder how the millstone is related to livelihood, but that's what God says. So pretty much you cannot take away something that will like be the livelihood of another person. Trafficking, that's considered evil, and I think that is rightly so. And then just verse 10 talk about like just even if you take stuff for security, I guess, as a pledge, you need to think of people's health and well-being above the finance. I think that's the main idea, especially to 14, like, you know, like when people are poor and counting on the wage, counting on the pledge, you need to think about that and do the things that is righteous in God's eyes. And then I don't understand why elsewhere God said that he visits the sin of the parent to the third and fourth generation. From what I understand from those, it's kind of like the inherited nature of sin and how like sin can be passed on habitually, like learn. And so that is the effect. But in here it's very clear that each person will die for their own sin. And this is for like the death penalty, but I'm not sure. I think in regards to the way that God works, visiting to like, yeah, that is like the habitual learn, the cycle of poverty, the cycle of sin that is usually present in families and in lives. But I think God also practices verse 16, and it's not only for us, that he holds each person accountable, not like depending on another person. And that so just talk about generosity and thinking of other people, thinking of how they were slaves in Egypt, and treat people with love and respect and compassion. I think that's the whole message of this, and I'm just so glad that God is such a good God.